So, in the Marvel Transformers continuity and also some concept art, um, Blastoff had four eyes. Or not four eyes. Oh my god, I swear to god. Fucking stop screaming your head off. I don't care. Literally everyone in the house can hear you. I don't need a reminder that you exist. In fact, I wouldn't like a reminder that you exist, because your beep is annoying. Anyway. So in G1, the art that the comic designers, or just the concept designers, sent to the G1 animators showed Blastoff having, two eyes and no visor. Meanwhile, in the G1 cartoon, they made it so that he doesn't have, two eyes. Instead, they gave him a Cyclops eye above where his normal eyes should be. And what I always had canoned is that the Marvel, or just G1, um, the G1 Blastoff got critically injured and was repaired by Shockwave, and Shockwave was like, "Welcome to the party. We need a new Cyclops around, and you would make a perfect specimen to use. Besides, you're already a sniper, so when you really think about it, the less eyes, the better." And then kind of screwed him up, and then ripped out his optics, melted them together to form his Cyclops eye, and then the holes where there were eyes or optics were then covered up by sheet metal. And that's my headcanon for the G1 continuity, and that is my canon for my continuity. Is he got royally screwed by Shockwave because he's a little silly guy. Look at it, Shockwave got a little too silly. Also, frankly, originally, before people brought it up, I frankly just saw the purple little gem thing as well, like a gem crest, and he just had like blacked out eyes, or well, grayed out eyes, for the sake of people not being able to see where he's looking, so then he would be extra inconspicuous. So I like to think that it's kind of a mixture of both. Like, he can still technically see out of both eyes, since in my AU Blastoff, basically, his eyes can jarble around in his head, kind of like a skeleton. And, they can. Okay, so the Combaticons all have a unique type of vision. Like, Vortex can see living energon better than anything else. So, like, he can detect energon signatures and what faction they are via their energon signatures, which no, each faction doesn't have unique energon. He has just been built to be able to sniff out the difference. And he basically doesn't really see people's bodies, he just kind of sees their internals. Brawl literally sees red. Like, his visor literally just has like a red outline, like a red glowing piercing thing, and basically his fellow Combaticons, and only his Combaticons, glow a different color. Otherwise, everything else just goes red and he wants to kill it. Basically, bull brain. Onslaught's the only one with quote unquote normal vision, except he can see after burns or whatever, basically shadows of people's dead bodies. So, like, he can automatically know who died, and he can just be like, okay. So, Crosscut died. Our Crosscut, not the Autobot Crosscut. So, yeah. Since he can basically, like, see where the spark got snuffed. Swindle. Swindle can see how much your net worth is. Is it useful in combat? Not at all. Is it useful for haggling you? Of course. And then Blastoff is able to see the specific chemical proteins that cybertonium produces. And see, the way cybertonium chemicals work is it's kind of very sticky chemicals. So basically, yeah, he can see normally by technicality, but like also not. So he can see through the cybertonium that's covering his eyes, or well, where his eyes would be. And cause like he can see through the chemicals of the cybertonium. Since he can see it, he could just be like, he can just kind of like zone it out and be like, oh hey, no more. And then like he can kind of see through the coverings that Shockwave gave him. And Shockwave doesn't mind because he's like, oh, you were able to figure out my little trick. I respect that. Although I do hate you, but I hate all of the Combaticons. And then like in his center eye he has normal vision, like just normal like Cybertronian vision. And Bruticus, you're probably like, oh wait, does Bruticus have like his own unique vision? Nope, he has a minor combination of all of them. Hence why Bruticus is the most feared, except he doesn't have the net worth thing because um Swindle contributes the least to good old Broody. So sadly you can't scan your net worth. Sadly. But everything else Bruticus can see, which is also another reason why his brain is so frazzled and why he's so brutish, because like Onslaught's a battle master, you know, Blastoff's the sniper. Did I say Onslaught? Did I say Blastoff by accident? I meant to say Onslaught on the first one. Brawl's like, I mean Brawl is kind of a dunce, but he also like does like, you know, and Swindle's kind of like a haggler, and Vortex is like he's a sociopath. So when you really think about it, it should make a decent IQ sociopath, but then like, when you really look at it, I mean, all of that going on, and also the fact that the center spark needs to become the combiner spark and basically compute all of that, I think it would be a lot. So he isn't necessarily the brightest combiner, but he's not like mentally disabled. It's just like if you give him a board and it says like 2 times 17, he's just gonna punch the board and shoot you, if that makes sense. And also Brawl actually he likes war, but post-war, well, if the Combaticons ever do see post-war, um, Blastoff is actually like, I don't like the feeling of dying because yes, Swindle dies and gets replaced by a different Combaticon, which that Combaticon is replaced by Bomb Shock. And yeah. And Brawl was just like, oh, this is thrilling. And Vortex was like, ooh, a new feeling. And Onslaught was just unfazed, since if he ever touches one of those like after shadows, he does feel how they died. So he's kind of just like, okay. But Blastoff was like, what, the, what? I knew what we were doing was evil. That was what we wanted to do, but this, this feeling is, it's, it's awful. What, why, what? So then he basically got anxiety. PTSD. Still fought in the war though, because good old Megs. Yay! Oh, also, Bomb Shock has something similar to what Swindle has, but instead of seeing your net worth, he instead sees your explosive levels. And if she sees that you meet the right credentials, aka a 2.5 and above, then she will blow you up and kill you. Also, all of the Combaticons in my continuity are female. Deal with it, idiots.